I also would like to tell you that, speaking of style or the way you code everything, is that what I have so far over here can be written like this, and the meaning is exactly the same, and the program will do exactly the same thing. And I can do this with two separate statements, right? So this is one statement. You can see the ending of the statement with the semicolon at the end of it, or I can break it down to two separate statements. The behavior is exactly the same. Sometimes when I have lengthy statements like this, and if something fails, sometimes it's hard to understand which part fails, what exactly is failing. So having separate statements sometimes help understanding during debugging. Okay, so but overall compiler doesn't care. It's absolutely your choice of which way you would like to proceed with this. Okay. Right, another quick demonstration. I don't know if it's part of our presentation today or not, but if I'm sure you're curious, okay, this input style that we've used, this way or this way, separate statements or one statement, tokenizes the input. Tokenizes the input means that it starts to recognize white space. You say, what if I want to enter the whole sentence with spaces and punctuation, whatever, and save it in a single string variable? So if you want to do something like this, let's do another quick demonstration, and I'll perhaps use it up on top here, std string. Another string, and we'll say how are you, just type greeting, how are you, and the user may enter something back. So here I will sorry, I meant to create a variable. This is cout, right? And then reply, right? So this is user reply. So instead of using character input device directly, what is available there is what is available in the library is std getline. Okay, getline, and the order of objects is the same, sin and reply, right? Reply is another string, and this way getline will wait for user to type the entire sentence with spaces and everything until they hit the enter key. So let's just very quickly debug this. Right, I built it. By the way, you may be wondering where getline is coming from in terms of the standard library. Getline is defined here in the string header, right? So once you include the string header, getline is actually brought in with it. So you don't have to declare a separate, use a separate include directive. So let's just do a quick test, write my integer here, and then how are you, what is your name? Okay, how are you, what is your name? It actually didn't work as expected, sorry. Well, apparently what happened was that when I entered the value, the enter remained in the input buffer, and I need to get an empty line first, and then the next line. So let's find out. std cout. You said this. Okay, let's do another test of this. Build first, right? Make sure everything builds and then run. Integer is this. How are you? Okay, so this way you see what was happening is that when you hit enter key at the end of the value input, the enter key is not automatically removed from input. And when I do my first getline attempt, the enter key is still there. So so what I get here is just an empty line. But the second time I say getline, now I'm waiting for user input. And when I do this, I type what I would like I am doing well, right? And hit enter. And what is your name? And we continue to the rest of the program. So this is the current input-output dialog that we had, and I'll just show you once again in larger print right here. So this is the way it behaves right now. Okay, so this is what I typed, and you can see that again it helps me to decorate my outputs, which I of course do for debugging purposes, to use square brackets to highlight or delineate the beginning and ending of everything that I do here. All right, so this is sort of like unplanned experimentation with all of this. We just wanted to show you that besides doing this with strings, you can do this with strings, and it's not very difficult, right? Just remember that you need to use character input, you need to provide the string. This is actually a function call, and upon return from this function call, reply is populated with whatever the user is being entering. I just wanted to highlight that.